Hey everyone, Panda Ninja here with my first YouTube tutorial video. I've been playing Tarkov for a few years now, probably played 2 to 3 wipes seriously, and just wanted to share some of my knowledge with the community in hopes that maybe it helps one person get into the game, or might make it easier for people already playing. What you see on the screen are my current wipe stats. I know I'm nowhere near the best, but with over 2,000 hours in the game, I feel like I have a pretty good handle on gameplay. I tend to play pretty balanced between looting and PvP, but probably lean more towards looting overall, as that can allow me to play more PvP focused raids later on when I have the expendable rubles to spend on kits. So without further ado, let's get into the customs guide. Alright guys, so this is customs. Big shout out to Maxon, Marvelin, and Monsieur for the map. Basically, really wanted to show you kind of the main routes that I take during the gameplay when I'm playing solo, just to kind of give you guys an idea of maybe some safe routes to take, and then maybe you can kind of incorporate your own flow into the path. So I guess I'll just start out by going over the main path and kind of what I'm thinking throughout the whole entire way. So just to give you guys an idea, Trailer Park Spawn is generally a popular spawn point. So is Crossroads if you're playing solo. And if you get this spawn right, your extracts are always going to be on the opposite side of the map. So if we spawn over here, we have to extract over here at ZB11. And if we get the ZB11 spawn over here, or any of the spawns over here, then you have to go over to Roof or Crossroads for the extract. You have to make it to the opposite side. So I'll just go over a couple of the main paths here. If I start at Trailer Park spawn, what I'll do is go up through here. I'll usually loot the tech spawn that's in the dead body scav area in the storage area. So I'll usually loot that, go through here, run up the main road, run through main bridge, go underneath the hole, go through the hole in wall old construction, work my way through old construction, tanks, and I get to about, this is kind of where I consider the halfway point. Now, I usually split this up into two ways, right? We can go over to Fortress, that's kind of good loot, but high PvP, so you could choose to go that way. Or you could choose to go kind of like a safer route by taking stashes. This is what I like to call the stash route. With the dynamic loot changes, not every stash will be there or a spawn, but most of the time you'll at least get a few of them that can kind of make or break runs. So if you want to go PvP, or if you kind of think you might be the first one there, you can go to Stronghold, risk out the PvP. There's really good loot in there, which I can go further into later. But if you don't want to take the PvP route and want to go a little bit safer, you kind of split here. So what I would usually do is split off into the main road, run down the main road into the bus stop for cover, and then kind of there's a little exit right at the side here. This is where you kind of get to your first loot spot. I know on the way you really only have the one in storage, but this is where it kind of starts. So right in front of the bus stop, there's a pipe stash, like generally right here. It's in a tire. Sometimes it spawns, sometimes it doesn't, but that's your first spot that you're checking for loot if you're going on the stash route. Once you check that, right in the back of bus stop right here, there's another stash, usually right at this base of the tree at the corner behind. Usually has pretty good loot. Once you hit that, I generally will run over to the train track. There is a stash next to the light post here that can spawn. You can hit that on your way. As you're working your way through here, right, I'm definitely thinking there could have been people that spawned over in this woods area. So just kind of keeping aware of footsteps, sounds like that, just to make sure you don't get picked off while you're doing this. So yeah, from the light post stash, I'll work my way over behind new gas station, and then at here there's a little new gas station. There's a little stash right behind it, behind the white wall. So yeah, I'll usually go here from new gas. There's going to be like the power station in the back. What I usually do is go through here, go behind the rocks, and then there's a stash out this way on the hill next to a tree, and that has pretty good stuff into it there. So you can loot the pipe stash, the tree stash, the light post stash, new gas station, and then this hill one. Now if you want, I haven't been doing this, but there is also a stash by the patch between rocks, so you could make a little quick run there to get that, and then work your way back to the extract. So you can do that. I've kind of been skipping that, but if you're trying to maximize loot, there's a stash back there that you can always check. Usually from the hill stash, what I'll do is my aim then is to get to the USEC building, because that over on this side has really good loot in it. There's a like mannequin side, which will have some rare spawns, weapon spawns, stuff like that. The other side is more like tech spawns and toolkits and toolboxes and stuff like that. So from this, I'm aiming to get into USEC. Now, right, throughout the whole entire time, I'm thinking, where PvP, where am I hearing shots, stuff like that, right? Because you want to survive or be able to survive the raid. So what I'll do is generally go to the back side of military checkpoint, which is this main area. It's a bunch of scavs will spawn there. I usually won't go through the front just because scavs can shoot at you. You're kind of open. So what I'll do is work my way behind military checkpoint. Usually go through, there's a little cut in here, and then there's a crawl under space. Depending on what's around, I might crawl under and go into USEC, or I might go into the back. There's a stash right here along the wall that you can loot, and then go back here. There's a hole down here to get to the corner of the map. So you can hit the stash depending on if you hear, you know, some shots or anything in USEC, because you don't want to die. So this building here, USEC, I'll only go in and loot if I determine that it's safe, or, you know, think that relatively, hey, you know, I might be kitted out, have a decent chance of survival. Usually with the stashes, I have pretty good loot by now, like a full backpack if you're soloing. So it really depends. So if I think it's safe, I'll go hit up USEC, loot that all up, and then head to ZB11 for extract. If I hear fire and it may not be safe, what I'll do then from admin gate is I might check the admin gate stash and then just head straight out to ZB11 to get to the extract. So this is kind of the flow of how I would do pretty much every single run on customs when I get this left spawn here, when I'm, you know, kind of not really on the looted or good loot side of the map. Is I'll take this path that you see here, stronghold, fortress or stronghold, and the USEC ones. I'll generally only loot if I think that it's safe or haven't really heard much. Generally strongholds, if I do decide to go there, I'm trying to get in, get the loot, and get out as fast as possible. I may not spend the whole time looting there just because it's a high PvP traffic area. So really good loot, but want to get in, get out, or avoid it and just hit the stashes if you see it. So this is the first path that I like to go through. If you get that like kind of the big red spawn. All right, the second route, if you get spawn Crossroads over here, pretty much the same as the trailer park route that I take. So if you spawn here at Crossroads and have to run, what I'd be doing is basically I'd probably skip the tech loot spawn just for speed and efficiency. So what I'll do is instead of looting that, I'll probably just run down this main road all the way to main bridge. From main bridge, go underneath here, kind of the same path, right? A lot of my routes will end up taking kind of the same route just because I've found that it's pretty safe. So you'll go across main bridge, go underneath. I don't like going to the ice cream star just because scavs, people spawning over there shooting. It's just a lot. You don't have to deal with that. It's a lot. I think it's a lot safer to go through here and take your battle in old construction. So you go under here, right? Again, if you're spawning here, you can make the split to go to stronghold to get the good loot, but high chance there's also people there, so you might die. But high good loot. You just kind of gotta get a feel of what might be happening. If you hear shots and stuff, I might stay away from that. And then we're gonna do the same thing, right? So from Crossroads, if we spawn there, we're gonna take pretty much the same route. Determine if the split is good. If it's not good, we're gonna go back to buses, around, loot the pipe stash, loot the tree stash, loot the light post stash, go to the back, loot the old gas station stash, go to the hill, loot the hill stash, work your way behind military checkpoint through, determine if USEC is good or not. You can loot USEC. If not, then you hit this stash, see if that's here, hit admin gate stash, see if that's there, and then just go out to extract. You can check this far factory one stash there as well, and there's a pipe stash here that you can loot. Sorry, I didn't mention that in the earlier run, but you can loot both of those there if it's safe. ZB11's pretty good too. There's a one technical crate on the first floor that's pretty good. Some computers up on the second floor sometimes can have a GPU in it. But yeah, basically you can choose to loot there. It just depends on if you're hearing PvP battle, but that's kind of the flow of the second route. So really any spawn that you're going to get over on this left hand side, this is kind of the route that I'm thinking in my head to take. All right, so now for the opposite side spawn. So I went over a couple of the spawns over kind of like on the big red area, which you're trying to extract a ZB11. Sometimes ZB12 is open. I'll go into a little bit of the kind of maybe pivot plays when you are going through, but I kind of just wanted to first get the main routes going first for all of them, and then I can kind of go into the variations. So on the right hand side of the map, you kind of have a few spaces you can spawn. Sometimes you'll spawn in the like I guess like corridor buildings here. In the silos, you can spawn there. You can spawn actually in USEC. You can spawn out here kind of by the rock. I don't know if the blue ones are the exact spawns. But I know that you spawn in that general area. So when you spawn on this side of the map, right, you're trying to get to the opposite side for extract. So my mind, I'm thinking of trying to get to roof roadblock, or maybe dorms, extract, or maybe smuggler's boat if it's open. Railroad to port, or sorry, that's a scab spawn. Crossroads is generally the last resort. Like if I can't turn on power to extract at fortress, if I can't get out at roof roadblock, or dorms has been taken, like the car extract has been taken, right? Like I'm like, oh man, I'm praying that smuggler's boat is open, because it may or may not be, but if anything, Crossroads is kind of the last resort. Just because you have to go so much further, a lot of less, there might be, that much more possibility of you dying. So if you do spawn over on the right hand side here, one of the most common spawns I feel like is over here in this woods area. So sometimes if you spawn over here, actually there'll be two. I'll just show you guys. You can spawn generally in these two areas. What I'm first doing, because you're so close, is for loot, I'm thinking USEC building, right? So because generally if you get the spawn, there might be one other person spawned over here, or maybe not there yet. My first instinct is we are sprinting directly to USEC, right? No matter how you get there, there's a little crawl in her spot, but the whole first part is to loot USEC. Now, with the spawn so close here, you're most likely there might be someone over here, so you just got to be listening. A lot of scavs will spawn over here, but basically just be kind of aware that there might be one or maybe two other people. I haven't generally seen two multiple people parties spawn at the same so close to each other, so it's usually one or two other people, but it can be a party, I guess, so just be mindful of that. But if we spawn over here, or if we're spawning over here, we are going to USEC. This is the hot loot. You can get GPUs in there, stuff like that. Pretty good loot. So USEC is going to be the first stop here. Once we can loot up USEC and determine if we're safe, my first thought is to go to jump over spot here. There's a little train car you can jump over to get to the next section here. So I'll usually jump over here. There's a pit stash down here that you can loot. That's generally pretty safe. ZB12 has a dead body and ammo box in there as well, that you can hit up kind of on your way. Both generally have pretty good stuff on them. So just a few more loot spots after USEC once you're finished looting. So pit stash here, this is kind of where if you have the factory exit key, you're thinking about, oh cool, can I exit at stronghold rather than having to go all the way over to the side of the map. So from here, what I'd like to do is generally follow the back of this building, get to the bridge of old gas station and the shipping yard, and this is where I'd either drop a backpack if I'm too heavy, and then go in here and turn on the power, right? Power allows us to extract at Stronghold. So I'll turn in power, run back down, clear old gas, go through old gas, run through to Stronghold and extract. Oh, sorry, I don't think that was supposed to do it that way, but you'll go through here, and then you'll extract in the basement. You have to have a factory exit key to extract there. But yeah, you're looking to get out there. Now, when you go here too, depending on if fire, you can still loot this area if it hasn't been looted on the way. It's generally pretty quick when you get here. So you can loot this before you extract, but this is kind of like, oh, we made it essentially. So from old gas, you can go to Stronghold. You can either extract right away, or you can loot it up and head out. Depending on what's happening here, I'll usually write Stronghold, and then if I'm feeling safe, what I can do is go off to repair shop to then cut through, because we're essentially trying to get to roof roadblock. We'll cut through the repair shop area, try and go through unknown hole in the body, come down here, and then leave at extract. Sometimes, depending on if there's fight, I might go to the left side. This is crack house here. I might go to the left side of crack house, go to the back, and then dip out the same kind of the way. But kind of depends on what's happening in the raid or what you feel is safe. So yeah, that would be kind of how I would take any of these back extracts and work my way through here. Really, USEC building's good for looting, and then you are hoping that you can get out at Fortress. So this is one path, is kind of the good loot, but definitely you might run into people here a lot more. But yeah, this is a pretty common route that I would essentially take. All right, so the other route from this side of the map that generally would happen is if you do get any of these spawns back here in USEC, even scout checkpoint, or over here, generally what I still would do is USEC is good, right? So really just try and make your way here as fast as possible. You generally will have the first spawn over here. I feel like you might, again, like I said, you might have to deal with one or two other people, but generally if you get these spawns, you're pretty much the first one there. So you're looting USEC all up. You can loot ZB11. Really depends on how much time you want to take here to loot, but this is where you're going to find majority of your loot most likely. Now, if you don't want to take the route, the first route that I showed, kind of going through ZB12, shipping yard, turn down power, Stronghold, and or roof, we're going to go back and kind of do the reverse of the stash runs I showed you guys earlier. So we're going to loot USEC from here. If if I determine that that's safe, what I'll do is come back out USEC. Actually, I'll show you guys two ways. So I'll come back out USEC, generally go through the little hole in the wall, and then loot the little hill stash. I generally avoid the power station. You can go up there if you want, but I generally avoid it. I'll hit the hill stash. You can choose to go to the passage between rock stash if you want. You don't have to. Again, just for the flow of the map or the route, I usually don't go to this one from the hill stash. I'll go all the way back down, hugging the wall to the back side of new gas station stash. From the new gas station stash, kind of work my way over to the light post stash, hit that up, hit the back behind bus stop stash, go over, hit the pipe stash, right? And then from here, I'm generally hoping that Smuggler's Boat is open. So dorms is pretty hot spot. I usually don't go over there just because I want to survive. So from the pipe stash, what I'll usually do is, all right, you're keeping an eye over for people coming from here, but I'll just run down the main road. I'll get to the front of bus. I usually cross over here to hug the left side, just so I have cover, and then I can see people. I can generally have a fighting chance for people at their dorms. But I'll follow main road. Usually when the wall ends, or generally before, I'll cut over into the woods just so I'm safe. So I have cover in the trees. So I usually run over here, hit the wall, hug sniper roadblock, go all the way down, check and see if Smuggler's Boat is there. If it is, great, we can extract. If not, I'm running through here. There's a little junk bridge that gets you across. It's kind of sketchy because you're making sound, but I would generally walk across junk bridge, go all the way up behind the train port, running down the main road, and we're extracting at Crossroads. So this is kind of the other way that I would take. There's actually one other split that I can think of that this is kind of the safer, more kind of more reserved route, I think, because you don't have to worry about people at Stronghold or people over here. It kind of takes you to the woods. You can kind of get around fights and hide and stuff like that. The only other split that I would think that I would try and do, just because, right, like not every stash is guaranteed to spawn here, is when I'm working my way back from here, you don't have to go to this hill stash. Sometimes I'll run down this road, hit up this new gas station stash. There's usually one there in the bush. Jump over, and then right as you jump over, sometimes there's actually a stash right there as well. So I'll hit these two, run down, pretty much maybe hit the pipe stash again, and then kind of follow the same route out, and see if we have Smuggler's Boat. One route you could take, depending on the what's going on in the raid, like if you hear a lot of firing out in dorms and you don't want to take that way, one route that you could take, this is a little risky but also just kind of depends, is at this split right here at old gas or new gas bus stop, whatever, old construction. Instead of going to the Smuggler's Boat side, right, roof is always open. So sometimes what I'll do is cut through old gas just to make sure it's safe. Cut through old gas. Check this out. I generally don't like going through here, so I'll run through alley, come down here throughout the body, and then roof. But you could also split. There's a hole in the wall here, run through here, run through the containers, roof, roadblock. I mean, whichever route seems safe. But instead of going all the way out to Crossroads, you can sometimes split through here. You're praying Smuggler's Boat is open, but if it's a little quicker and you don't think it's safe, you can try and book it to roof, roadblock here for that extract. All right, and kind of for the weird ones, we've kind of gone over all the main routes that we would get if you kind of have the actual opposite spawns, but there are times that you can spawn in the middle, right? So sometimes you'll spawn over here, sometimes you'll spawn at old gas in the back. These half split ones, right, so if you spawn here, you're never extracting ZB11. Same with old gas, you're never extracting on the right hand side. You are gonna extract roof, roadblock, or this left hand side. So if you get the old gas spawn, right, or the like in the forest patch between rocks kind of area, you have to do a little thinking just for efficiency wise. Like these runs are going to maybe be a little quicker just because I hate doubling back. I don't like right, going away from extract just to go back. It just kind of feels bad. So just when I get these, right, like old gas is a pretty easy one because you spawn so close to Stronghold. So even though this might be high PvP, just for the timing wise and everything, what we'll do is if we spawn an old gas, you generally don't loot old gas at all. What we'll do is just sprint straight to Stronghold from the spawn. We'll just sprint right there, and then we loot up all of Stronghold. Generally you're going to be there first, so if people are coming over, even though it's a high PvP, you'll have pretty much the high ground, right, or the better hold position. They have to push you. So from old gas, I would go in straight to Stronghold, and then from Stronghold, right, you can either break to repair shop or break around Crack House. Both will kind of get you the same way. Crack House might have people there just because the spawns and stuff like that, so I generally stay away from going behind Crack House to roof. And I'll generally run to repair shop, hug the wall, or go through repair shop, out the old body, and then extract at roof. This is a short run, but if you can hit up Stronghold, it generally has enough good loot that you'll make it out with some decent money. So that would be the old gas spawn if you hit there. Same kind of thing. If you get the upper spawn over here, right, you can choose to run all the way through and hit up USEC here, but again, you're going back to then having to go all the way across the map to roof or extract. Sorry, I didn't mean to draw that one there, but yeah, it's kind of up to you to see how you want it. If it were me, again, what I'd be doing is if I get this spawn, I'm generally thinking, okay, we need to run straight to Fortress because we still need to extract on the west side of the map. So from here, I'm sprinting. You can hit up the light post stash kind of on your way. You can hit up the forest one back behind bus stop, or you can hit up the pipe one. Then I'm basically going through factory shacks, and then we're hitting up Stronghold, and then dipping. That last one. Then we're dipping through repair shop, going back through body, going around, and then to roof. So it's if you get these middle spawns, it kind of sucks because you're not around like good loot like you could be, and you actually have to run to it. It's almost kind of like spawning on the left hand side of the map, but these are the routes that I would take directly if you get that middle spawn. Obviously you can kind of play around with it how it go, but that is generally how I would take this route. Just a few disclaimers. Yeah, I know dorms has some really good loot in it, but it's so high PvP, and then like the fights are kind of rough if you're inside, and like what room is he in? So even though I know dorms has some really high tier loot, I generally do not go to dorms at all. That is kind of off limits for customs, just for survivability and stuff like that. I understand there's quests and stuff there, and some good items for sure. That might be something if you're feeling risky, you can go to dorms. But other than that, guys, that is the main routes that I take for customs. Alright guys, so that's my customs guide. I hope I was able to show you guys a decent run, maybe give you guys some ideas for your own runs. Hope you guys make some rubles and can get up that survival rate. Yeah, just basically hoping this helped you guys. If you guys want to see some more videos like this, maybe with some included gameplay, let me know down in the comments. If I missed anything, or might have you know, any better ideas for the route or anything like that, yeah, make sure to leave it in the comments down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.